In this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to start a blowout taper from scratch. This is the exact same framework I used to help my client, Marquise Bolden. He's an NBA player, start his taper. I've done 25K a month as a barber, also charging 250 for this cut. So let's get straight into the steps and walk you through exactly what I'm doing. One of the first very few important steps is saturating your client's hair, comb over his whole life. We want to make sure that we get a nice section top so then we can start our fade. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab these clips, come in and start at the crown area and section the back with a horizontal section, combing it both ways. And see how the hair wants to go this way? That allows us to see where the section is. Now I'm gonna go to his recession point. Right, just comb these hairs up and see how these hairs down here just wants to go down. That belongs to the side panel, all right? I'm going to section one right there, boom. And now, as you can see, we have 2 points. One here, one here. We're going to connect them two together now. Just like that, combing down. This is super important because you're able to cut the sides without bothering the top and the length you need on the top. Grabbing my clip here, sectioning it. We're going to come in with our flat comb and we're going to use this to debulk the length that we don't need and create shape. I'm going to comb in at the very bottom of his neck and just take all that right there. Comb in and just continue that all the way across. And then see how I'm angling it down like this way? It's because this will build shape right here, right? We need all this bulk up here. So this will build the shape of the taper, right? I'm going to take that, boom. This is a very effective way to debulk as well as creating shape. So down here, I'm debulking, but up here, I'm creating shape. One of the biggest common mistakes that barbers do is that they use too much bulk on the side. They think that, oh yeah, I want to blow out taper, but in reality, you need all the bulk in the middle where the crown is. So what you do is pull this ear down, comb the ear in, feed it through, and take that right there. And I'm not afraid to take this short because this is where it matters, right? Coming in, taking all that bulk. This area right here, see how we've created some nice shape on his head. To connect side to this, I'm going to come in and angle this, scooping out and then angling it out this way, right? Then taking this, boom. Now I'm gonna continue that same guide all the way to the back. We want this area the shortest, all the way coming to it being longer and longer. Gradually gets longer as it gets to the back, right? Gonna take this and now I'm just gonna use this to debulk. Just like that, we've created our shape. We're gonna come in now with the closed and go just like a light, real low right angle right here. This will allow us to keep that line up dark whilst having a blurry fade on this panel. Because when it gets to the right, we want this area dark, but when it gets in the middle, we want that nice and blurry. Before I even continue my fade, I'm gonna line up everything. Now I'm gonna do the same thing to the back and creating that, instead of doing a really harsh right angle, going to create that nice curvature. Like that. And right now it's more straight. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna make the middle point a lot more curved. And then moving on to my next step, which is the half guard, and come in open, doing a nice thick 1.5 centimeters across the whole way. Now doing the same thing to the side, going up about 1 inch. Now 2 guard, open, getting rid of this line and whilst flicking out. See how I'm flicking out like this? And this will build our shape that we want. And here, this panel, it's fine to get rid of the bulk. So I'm just gonna come up and get rid of all that. Because you see how here it's light, but then here it's dark. We want to match that. So I'm gonna do the same step to the side profile right here. And scooping out and flicking out that line. Now, what I'm going to do is close it and just go under what I did, because the fundamental rule of fading in is whatever you cut in with, when you close it or go anything shorter, it must go under, right? It must be lower. So as you can see there, it's nice and soft now, where we faintly can see the line right here, but it's pretty much nearly blended. Gonna do the same step to this and soften that line. Now, the next step before we even do any particular fading, we're going to come in and line it up. So lining them up, I'm gonna come at the C cup first, I'm going to lift these hairs up with my comb and look at where their hair growth starts. It starts around right there. So I'm going to comb that down, have my mental note, and comb that, take my first point there. It's super important to have a trimmer that's really sharp. Just like that, we have our first spot. Now I'm going to do down here and create my second point. Now I've got 2 points. I'm going to connect them two together now, just by doing little taps and sculpting it. Boom, just like that. I'm going to do that to the back now. Your neckline taper, this one right here, actually starts at the sideburns. So what you gotta do is make sure that you line up at the start first to create a nice curvature, to give it a nice structure to know where you're gonna place this lineup. The second step that barbers get wrong is that they don't check at where the hair root grows before lining it up. So here my client has a very overgrowth of hair. What you gotta do in instances like this is that you gotta comb the hair back to see where the hair actually grows. So his hair that is actually thick grows after this line here. Everything here is just peach fluff hair that doesn't go with the top. So what we're gonna do is comb everything down first. Now we're just going to continue that to the thing. So barbers, they either take the fade too back or they either take it too less. Because if I was to line it up like this, it'd look real weird. In reality, we have to push it back because he just has an overgrowth. The real hair actually starts after this line right here. The third thing that barbers get wrong is that they don't line the neckline first before they do their fade. When you line up your neckline after you fade in, the darkness of that line goes away. That's why lining up first before I do any fading, I haven't done any fading here, will allow you to keep those line up dark without compromising the sharpness. So lining that up just like that allows us to have a clearer understanding of where we should fade, where we should keep the lines dark. That's why I highly recommend you guys to not fade before you line it up. Come in open now and going to just do a centimeter above that line and continuing that on at the end as well, this side, and doing just about a centimeter, not too high because we want to keep this taper still dark. This area right here is a very important, crucial area for the blowout taper. So making sure that we keep that weight there. Once I've got that line in, I'm going to come in with the half guard and slapping that on, open, and then close it 1 notch. The reason why I close it just 1 notch is because it just works. And just like that, we've taken out that line. And we're going to do the same thing at the back. This line right here, we just come in with the corners first. And you see how these hairs over here, they go this way? You can't cut it like this. You gotta cut it the way that the hair wants to grow. So the hair grows this way, we're going to come in and attack it this way. I'm gonna come in fully closed, get rid of that last line. There's a lot of dark spots right here. Open it now, get rid of that. Coming now with my closed, get rid of that last line that we have here. As you can see, it's gone right now, and we have a little line right here. See that right there? We're gonna come in now, open to fully take out and detail. Now we're going to finish off the back, come in closed, same step, and flick out at that line right there. And as you can see, as I get to here, I flick out higher, but then at this line, I leave dark. We're going to do the shear work on the top now. So when doing shear work, you have to make sure that the top is super saturated, but you don't want to be too saturated. So that's why we use a mister, all right? This is a mist bottle. This is JRL's mist bottle. That sprays hair really nice. The first step of the shear work process is getting the front right? So we're going to do a section right in the middle and do it like a U shape right here. So that right there is our first section, and we're just only gonna cut that right there. I'm gonna comb all this down and have a look and gauge how his hair reacts. See how right here? This is long, and then this is like springing up. It's because he has a cowlick right here. So what we wanna do is we make sure that we don't cut this area too much, okay? So I'm gonna comb it down. See how that likes to spring up? So what we're gonna do, snip just right there. That will give us a little guide to show us how much we should cut when we pull this hair out. And we don't wanna cut too much length off, we just wanna even everything out. So I'm cutting just like that. Now I'm going to come in and do a middle section, over direct that to the side. Now connecting the top length to the bed we have on the side. Right here at this point is where my guide is for the start. Continue that all the way. Comb in, grab behind my comb, pull out, and then take that right there. With the back section right here, we have the crown, which is the swirly dot. We're going to come from that crown and do a horizontal section that will separate our back length and our top length. Now we're going to come in and do a vertical profile section. I'm going to just trim a centimeter to match the back area because the back area is a lot shorter. So we're going to come in, take about a centimeter off this much. Come in. Now that we've done the whole panel, we're going to do horizontal sections. We're going to do horizontal from the back, and as you can see, matches our vertical, so we don't need to cut much. Grab that horizontal, matching that to our vertical. So right here, can you see that straight cut right there? That is our guide. So we only want to cut a little bit and just match that. Don't need to cut too much. Continuing that all the way down to the front. Now we are done with the shear work. One common mistake that tapers have is that they have too much bulk on the side over here. Using the clip over comb will have a softer finish because we're just slowly, slightly taking off what we don't want and taking off that bulk. When we have something like a more drastic shape, we can use clipper over comb. With the styling process, I'm gonna use some sea salt spray. I'm going to just push on my hands like this, right? A couple sprays, and doing this will allow you to spread the hair. After, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of curling cream and just dab. I'm going to come in with my diffuser and slap it on my blow dryer. My last step to create a nice pop is I like to use my duster with a bit of talc powder and put it on his fade, right? This will create a lot of contrast and also clean all the hairs off, as well as it looks real nice on camera. Just like that, we are done.
If I come up and I fall off, that's on me. That's on me. If I come up and I fall off, that's on me. That's on me. Yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the